is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves, who they should draft and what they should do in this upcoming free agency, aka basically what can they do to build around their young core of D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns. Every team has a duo. The Andrew Wiggins experiment didn't work, and he didn't really live up to that potential. We know what D'Angelo Russell brings to the table. We know he can shoot the ball. We know he's a okay to decent playmaker, and we know that he possibly can be a great match with Karl Anthony Towns because he can pick and pop. He can stop and shoot the three. He can shoot the floater. He's a decent mid-range shooter too if you give him space. Plus, we know that Towns is a guy that can roll to the rim. He can finish around the rim. He can shoot the mid-range, and he can also shoot the three as a catch and shoot or off the bounce. So it's going to be interesting to see the Timberwolves team because we haven't seen them healthy. We've seen them without Towns. We haven't seen them with Towns. They make the acquisition to get Malik Beasley, which we got to see how much money they willing to pay him because he did play exceptional. I will tell people to caution themselves on Malik Beasley as there was no Towns, so he was able to take more shots than he will actually get with Towns being on the court with D'Angelo Russell, and Russell missed a couple games too. So let's just relax a little bit on Malik Beasley. I know he can play. I know he can shoot. I know that he should be a great fit alongside them, but I don't think he's going to be as, aggressive because they're going to be running different type of sets now that they get their best player back when the season start next year or this year for the 2021 season. And I think it's an interesting thing in general just because this is a team that still don't really have that many defenders, if any. And they're still a team that's still trying to find themselves as, like I said, Towns hasn't even played a game with neither one of these guys or nonetheless the whole team. But this team, I think, even if they trade for Devin Booker, it's tough to see this team turning into a legitimate championship contender just because they don't have enough. And even with D'Angelo Russell and Gomez and all these other guys, this team is really okay at best. And I said the same thing when they got Jimmy Butler. I felt like, yeah, they're a playoff team, but they also not even close to being a championship team. And I feel like this team is even worse than that team that was all the way up to a fourth seed in the West. And they couldn't hold on to it because Jimmy Butler ended up having double knee surgery and they couldn't win consistently without him. But this team is still one major injury away from being a disaster. And the fact that they really don't have enough defenders on the perimeter or inside, they're going to give up a lot of points. And on top of that, they have better floor spacing. I think that's the best thing about this team is that they can space out the floor a little bit more better with Herman Gomez and Beasley playing those positions, giving them three-point shooting and guys that can do a little bit more. And that's something that they didn't have. They kind of relied a lot on Towns creating and scoring. They didn't really have a guard that can knock down shots from the perimeter and handle the ball and make plays. And they do have that now with D'Angelo Russell. Plus, like I said, Malik Beasley is a more aggressive guy. He gets the ball, he attacks, he can knock down threes off the catch and shoot and off spot up, which give them an element that they really didn't have because Culver couldn't knock down threes consistently. Covington wasn't as aggressive and as multi-dimensional as a Beasley. Plus, they still do have a guy like Jared Culver who can become a backup guy that can possibly add shooting off the bench in the future as he still is young. He's only 21. Plus, he was known as a defender in college. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen in the NBA. but he's better than nothing. I know he didn't play that well his rookie season, but you're looking at him in the future as a potential piece that can be good. And you're not asking him to be a starter and rely on him. You're just asking him to come in and play a role. And I think he can fill that role in the future. And when you look at Josh Okogie, same thing. This is one of their best rookies. They got him as a small forward, but he is undersized for that position at 6'4", 213. But he is a guy that can play and guard multiple positions. Nas Reed showed that he can be a solid player, not a great player, not the guy you really want to have as your backup big. But then again, he showed that he can be a guy that can possibly space out the floor and knock down some mid-range and finish from time to time. But I think they definitely need to upgrade that position if they want to be taken serious in the West. And in general, this team is very lackluster. Like I said, I wasn't a fan of the D'Angelo Russell trade. I was really only a fan of it because it filled a positional role and a positional need that they needed to fill. But now I think that, as you see, they need to fill that wing position. I think that that's the most important thing for them is to fill that that three position that they lost when they got rid of Andrew Wiggins. And you can have the ability to get a LaMelo Ball, a guy that can people believe can be a great passer and facilitator and has upside to be a great scorer. He's not going to be that right away. I don't know if Minnesota can have the patience for him? Will they be able to groom him? Will they even be able to develop him into the player that he could be and the potential that he has had? Can they realize that potential? Because he will be an ideal fit, a legitimate 6'8" guy that can pass, potentially shoot, potentially create, and give you another ball handler outside of D'Angelo Russell as Culver and Malik Beasley at that guard position in the Kogi. They don't need the ball to be effective, and they don't really need the ball in general. While LaMelo can give them that extra dynamic to their team, a guy that can see over defenses, see and find other guys open, and since Towns and Beasley and guys like D'Angelo Russell can shoot off the ball too, and they can do catch and shoot, it can really be a great ideal fit if they can put it together and if he can really develop alongside this team, because Minnesota doesn't have the track record to be a great development place unless the guy himself wants it most and they can develop themselves. But other than that, they haven't had a great track record of developing talent. You look at James Wiseman. I don't think James Wiseman is a bad pickup either, just because you can pick him up in that 3, 4, 5 range, and he can be an upgrade over Nas Reed. And you can even throw up lineups like we start seeing. The West is getting bigger. You can throw him out there with Towns and get a guy that could potentially be a rim protector and a guy that can protect the rim as Towns plays out on the perimeter, and he can really be a great help defender too if he learns that role. And he can be a great finisher because Russell can play well with guys that can roll to the rim and set good screens. As, like I said, he is a good scorer, and that opens up opportunity for somebody to finish around the rim or get a dump off or even get an offensive rebound and go back up and finish. I do feel like Denny, he can be a good pickup, like I said before, being a guy that can play that 3 or 4 position and give them another playmaker and a guy that can catch and shoot from time to time, get out in transition and make the correct decisions. He can also push the tempo a little bit and get to the rim and finish. That can open up opportunities and opportunities for passes to go through, but also opportunities to put pressure on the defense and also allow them to get opportunities that they wouldn't get with D'Angelo Russell, who's not really known for, crashing the defense by, probing or even going all the way to the paint for a layup. And that's something that Denny could give them. He reminds me a lot of Dario Saric, but a better defender and a higher IQ. But they had Dario Saric before, and it didn't really work, and it didn't really fit. That's my only concern about Denny. And then if they fall later in the draft, a Kongu will be interesting. A guy that's a defense first guy, which they don't have at that position, and a guy that can potentially play some center if they want to go small ball. That'll be interesting. You got Okoro, who they really don't need because they got the Covers and the Kogies and the Malik Beasley. They don't have the ability to give him time. So basically, what I'm saying is they should go for LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, Denny, and possibly a Kongu. If Obi is there, he doesn't really fit because he's not a great defender either. So he's not going to fix that hole in there in the middle. He's only going to make it worse because Hernan Gomez is not a great defender either, and he shoots the ball better possibly than Obi anyway. So you're probably better off going with him as your starting power forward because at least he give you space for Towns to be able to post up switches and punish little guards, and you can't help or double team because Beasley can shoot, and so can Russell, and so can Herman Gomez, allowing him to punish defenders and shoot over them, and allow him to even face up in the mid range and pop other defenders that's slower or guys that don't respect Towns. So Towns gonna have a lot more room to operate, a lot more freedom. I do think they should go with a draft pick because their core is still so young that they don't have to rush. They don't have to put it together quick because Russell seems like he just got his extension and so has Towns. So they seem like they're going to be there for a long time. Malik Beasley is eligible for extension this summer, I believe, which means he can grow with this core if they decide to pay him and go with them. And even if they don't, he's a restricted free agent so they can match any offer. And then you look at Culver, he's on a rookie contract, so he has multiple years, and even when it's up, they can match his offers too because he become a restricted free agent. And then you just look at everybody else. They have basically control over this roster, how they want to build it, what players they want to keep around, and what players that they possibly want to trade up in the draft or get another piece. I do think that this is a team that could trade down, still get the player that they want, and get additional players or get some role players later in the draft and pick up about 2, 3 guys that can come off that bench for cheap and really make an impact in the future as this team continues to grow and continues to develop. We'll see how they go and how they become in the Western Conference because it's tough. They showed that they can be a decent team offensively, but will they be able to defend? Will their offense make up for their lack of defenders? And will they even go for a defensive player in James Wiseman? Or will they go for that wing and Denny or LaMelo Ball? And, we really don't know. But those guys do fit, but it doesn't fix their defensive struggles and problems. It might even add to them, which it seems like they don't really care much about that because the decisions that they made has only been offense first. But a lot of teams in their defense has been going that direction. And this team is going to be tough to defend and tough to, match up against, especially if they can go big. That give them another dynamic as they already have multiple guards that can play with the ball and create and score. Plus, you add in a big that can defend and give you size to go against the teams like the Lakers and other teams that go big like the Raptors or the Bucks. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Herman Gomez got the size to play that forward position. He just doesn't have, the defense that can complement Towns or make up for Towns' deficiency. He's just going to add to it. And then, like I said, if you get LaMelo Ball, he's not known as a defender, and he's a, raw scorer at this point, not having really that much mid-range game or three-point game, and he's not really a great finisher either, but you're basically drafting him for the upside of what he will become. But like I said, do they have the patience for the 3 to 4 years that it might take LaMelo to get to the point where he can be an all-star caliber player or at least a great role player turning into a star? Because if you drafted him in the top 3, you want an all-star at worst, especially when you're a team like Minnesota that doesn't really get that many superstars coming as a free agent or through trades. And even when they did, Jimmy Butler left anyway, and now they haven't been in the playoffs since. So let me know what you guys think about the Minnesota Timberwolves, what they should do, if you agree with me or you don't, or you feel like I got it all done. And if I did, like the video. If you liked the video already, thanks for the love and support. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. It will be in the description in the comment section below. At the end of the day, I'm going to try to differentiate the website from the channel. So check that out. Also, check out my channel. I got videos just like this, like discussions. I cover rookies like this video. I also do videos about trade deadline, free agency, playoff predictions. I also cover the regular season, and I make the videos every day. So if you love NBA and can't get enough of it, this is the channel for you. So subscribe and become part of the family. Other than that, Quinn Wade basketball analysis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think the Minnesota Timberwolves should do. And that's all I can tell you right now.